So, are we being replaced by technology like iTunes and Spotify? Somebody in one of my recent video comment sections suggested this. And I don't know, in the video I was talking about how it's probably not enough to spin tunes anymore, especially if you want to be a wedding DJ. Back in the old days, sure, you could do that because having a comprehensive music library was a big deal. But today it's not, because iTunes and Spotify is there, and it's very easy to grab about any tune you want and just play it. If you've got a phone and a speaker, you got music. So I was suggesting that maybe what makes us valuable, especially as experienced guys who know what we're doing, we can help these folks with timeline creations and organization. Some DJs balked on that. They said, that's not my job. I spin tunes, that's up to the wedding coordinator. You know, the thing of it is that if you've got experience with this, you already know how to do it. You should know how to do it anyway. And it's relatively easy to do. It is time consuming. You have to talk to the client and do a lot of emails and phone calls and things, but really, you know what works and what doesn't work. This isn't hard to do. Somebody also suggested that, yeah, well, the difference between a high-paid DJ wedding planner and just a DJ is that the high-paid wedding planner will send an email and say, I think 8 o'clock is a great time for the first dance, and a DJ will just do it at 8 o'clock and make less money. I think there's more to it than that, and I will argue that if you think your first dance is going to happen at 8 o'clock, wow, what world do you live in? The only times that I guarantee my clients that things will happen right when they're supposed to happen is my start time, dinner time, as long as catering's on it, and the end time. I don't even talk about wedding ceremonies happening when they're scheduled to happen. Sometimes the clergy's late and things get backed up. I used to think that was a big deal, but it's not anymore. Things can get backed up a little bit. But if catering promises a 6 o'clock dinner time, I want to have everything ready and wrapped up at 6 sharp without any, slack in there, or without making dinner late because I don't want their food cold. Now, as far as when the first dance happens, I don't know how long dinner's going to take, or speeches are going to take, or breaking down tables is going to take. How could I possibly know it's going to start at 8 o'clock? Sorry, I think I just went off on a rant. But what I was getting at is, look, just because something isn't hard for you to do doesn't mean it's not valuable. Think about a mechanic. It's not a big deal for a mechanic to tune a carburetor or to change a tire or any of that stuff. They do it all the time. It's easy for them to do, but you still pay for it. It's not free just because it's easy for them to do. So just because it's easy for you to do timeline creation, although it is time consuming, it doesn't make it any less valuable. It makes you more valuable because nobody else can do this. And those who have decided that they don't want anything to do with any of this stuff as far as planning, they just want to spin tunes, you guys have created the wedding planner for most events. You see, we don't know where we're going to land in the vendor hiring process. Sometimes we're the first call, sometimes we're the last call. If we're the last call, they may have already hired some wedding coordinator, and they don't really need them because you can do it, and in which case you're stuck with them. But I'm still doing the timeline creation. I'm letting them know, hey, look, I got to do this, and they let me do it, and the wedding coordinator's cool about it. Let them handle something else. Now, if you're a great DJ and you know how to read crowd fantastic and you do great sets, and even if you're a great mixer, whatever the case might be, that's icing on the cake. That's not something that you can really express very well in a meeting. You can express this timeline creation and build value in that. And when you get there, you can wow them with your DJ skills. But I don't see our job going away anytime soon. I just can't even comprehend it. Especially if we bring these skills to the table, like coordinating and organizing and timeline creation, that a computer or an app just can't do. They can't foresee the things that we can. So anyway, quick video for you. We'll see you tomorrow. Practice and enjoy.